Now, who would win in this battle, Zilla Jr. or -1 Gojira? I know what you must think. It's very obvious who would win, but let's take this in a similar. Let me explain in further detail how this is somewhat closer than you think. As we can see, Zilla Jr. defeated his cybernetic father, that was in hand with. He survived a volcano eruption that destroyed an island, can make storms, and can lift 5 million tons of rocks. While -1 Goji, its atomic breath alone is to be so hot it can supplement the iron in Takeo. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, as well as the National Dia building and the building surrounded it. The shockwave alone from his atomic breath was able to destroy everything in between a 6-kilometer radius. It's never stated how tall Zilla Jr. is, but I would say he's taller than his father and taller than Showa Godzilla, while -1 Goji would be probably the same height or a little bit smaller than the original Godzilla. Well, yes, Zilla Jr.'s atomic breath is not as strong as -1 Goji's, but let's not forget that Zilla Jr.'s atomic breath was able to melt sand, turn sand into glass, which is a very strong feat alone with his atomic ray. And also, Zilla Jr. is way smarter than -1 Goji and is way faster. And he can burrow, unlike -1 Goji. But -1 Goji has a stronger atomic breath and has stronger regeneration. And their ability is a questionable feat for these two because Zilla Jr. has fought many opponents and -Goji has not. We can bring in the nuclear bomb factor, but let's be fair though, that atomic bomb did really hurt him a lot, but Zilla Jr. has more experience fighting. And Zilla Jr. would probably be smart enough to realize that his -1 Goji's atomic breath would have hurt it, and probably use that to his advantage and see the cooldown and try to attack close range. But let's not forget that -1's tail could do some damage, and maybe his teeth, if Zilla Jr. is smart enough to dodge those attacks, which he probably could be able to, but if he gets hurt, his regeneration is slower compared to -1's. So the weight, there's no official weight for Zilla Jr. and -1 Goji. I would probably say his exact weight is not stated in the film, but probably like 60,000 tons is a minimum, I think. Well, I'm probably wrong, but I would. And how is this hard? This is kind of hard. This is a hard battle to discuss because they're both. Zilla Jr. does not really get talked about in the community for versus battles a lot, but I feel like he's probably one of the strongest Godzillas. I'm not saying he's the strongest. I'm saying he's one of the strongest. He can probably defeat the original Gojira, but lose to Showa, Heisei, Millennium, and Legendary, and that's it. I feel like Zilla Jr. would be able to defeat -1 Goji very quickly, but if you have something, if you feel like I'm wrong, you can give me more information about -1 Goji and say how he might win, but I'm gonna say that Zilla Jr. would win based off his speed, his burrowing, and his general IQ being. So that's who I think would win. But if you have something else, Well, that's all I have to say. Zilla Jr. wins this fight very quickly and effectively compared to -1 Goji being slower and has to take a long time to use his atomic breath.